Fuck.
Wait, hold on. Gets better. This is my favorite part coming up. Like that hammer-ons. That's where you're in space.
You guys all know the line when the dude asked Eddie Van Halen, he was like, how's it feel to be the greatest guitar player on earth? And he was like, you'll have to ask Ringo Starr. That never happened.
Hell yeah. Eddie Van Halen, man.
I think I just had my butt crack out trying to fix the...
Chill.
That's a free show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then it goes into this. I always forget that.
So, DJ, what is this today?
This is butt stuff. That's
All right, legend.
Our
Dude, how
the legend Eddie Van Halen.
how upset do you think Eddie Van Halen's brother is that he learned how to play guitar first?
Yeah, exactly.
Like he taught him and was just like, oh yeah, you got to pick it up, Eddie. It's gonna be fun.
That's probably why he's so good, because he's like, I got to get better than my brother.
Dude, I have no clue, but it is the case with like a lot of people who are taught like by their brothers. They always fucking end up surpassing them, and they're like,
there's like a fight for who's better, you know.
I heard the
Which
story
is good.
that like his brother like was teaching him, but then his brother was like going on dates, and he was like, I would go on a date with the girl, and like Eddie would just be on the bed playing guitar, and I would be gone for hours and come home, and Eddie's in the same spot just still shredding.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was just like trying to get pussy. Eddie was like, I'm really gonna get this pussy though.
I mean, some people too just have the natural ability that's just like you're just meant to do that. Like, I mean, you guys remember the first time you heard Eruption? Like, I remember I was in like middle school or something like that, and someone's like, "Oh, you got to listen to this." And you're just like,
I gotta change my pants.
it just melts you're just like, holy shit, that's the greatest thing that I've ever heard. Like, that's the greatest guitar solo ever, basically. Fucking ridiculous.
dude, yeah. It's also like, okay, like the same type deal with Victor Wooten, where it's just like Victor Wooten was taught bass by Reggie or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Still can't touch Reggie on guitar, but like somehow this man raised the best bass, or one of the best bass players playing currently. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just like, and it could be like adapting like little bits of his style too.
Mm-hmm.
But like fucking just running away with it too, because like he's like one of the only people who like slaps the guitar.
Yeah.
And like same thing with Van Halen, and like he mastered the tapping and the hammer-ons. Like 100%, there's probably no better out there. Like, oh my god!
How many tours do you think they've done in their lifetime? Like, just like rough estimate.
Let's
Quite a
We
few.
could figure it out, but let's.
I'm just 45.
Something like that. I don't know. That's a lot.
I think he was probably one of those people who just never stopped once he was getting gigs. That was just like what he had worked for the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I mean, they weren't. I don't know. I remember they retoured with the original lineup like 3 years ago or something like that, and it was all weird.
Looks like 14 tours.
how many concerts
15,
do you think
15.
they've done?
Oh,
Concerts. That's like an astronomical amount. Because like they didn't like from like the 90s to like the mid 2000s. Like they probably did a lot of their own stuff. But
So I'm reading this. I don't know. It's on Wikipedia. I don't know how true it is, but it's saying the Never Say Die tour. It's like fucking Black Sabbath. They toured with them in 1978. That would have been a sick tour. Black
Really?
Sabbath and Van
Dude,
Halen.
imagine
That would have
though
been so good.
the hustle. Okay, Black
Yeah,
Sabbath
it's
has
insane.
a really hard hustle they've been pushing for a while, all right? And then like it's like slow, steady, still like fucking really like metally shit, and then it takes off. And then Van Halen's probably this new stud. They're just like, oh, yeah, come open for us, and they bring him out, and then like try to follow Van Halen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just comes out there doing fucking.
Well, War Pigs is
No, I know, but
War Pigs is good. See, that's what I mean. They're good. They're both good.
But like
That'd
I'm
be,
saying,
I would love that. I wouldn't even care who opened up for
Yeah.
who. I'd be like, this is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
but there's definitely some things to say. Like I think the Monkees brought out Jimi Hendrix once as their opener.
Mhm.
And like number one, like okay, they're like Eddie Van Halen and Sabbath are like kind of similar, but like it's almost like glam rock versus like, well, you know what I mean, like the Motley Crue, like hair metal bands, and like he was coming out in spandex and shit like that, and you know Ozzy's biting the head off a bat. It's like
Yeah.
two different like vibes, but somehow it still works, and it's still like one of those things like
It's like heavy rock, you know? It's-
yeah.
I forget what the
It's-
headliner was, but my mom saw Aerosmith open up for a band. I can't
I
remember.
could
who
have. Oh, they
was.
probably toured with
But
Van Halen. I wouldn't doubt it.
She said Aerosmith just came out and like no one knew who they were, and they just fucking blew the
Yeah,
fucking roof off the place.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Another
awesome.
good one.
Yeah, she saw Tom Petty open for someone too, and she was like, no one knew who Tom Petty was, and just fucking another example where the opener was just like, oh, this
Aw,
guy's
man.
incredible.
That's someone I never got to see that I wish I did, you know?
Yeah.
And it's so cliche to say, but I knew he was a good musician, but it's like, you know, when someone passes, you're like, all right, I'll start listening. And then you really realize, like, damn, this guy was so good. Like,
Dude,
what the
yeah.
fuck?
It was one of those things too where he was young enough that like he'd be playing and there'd be like some other show like nearby, probably like Fish or some Dead spin-off thing, and I'd be like, yeah, I'll catch Tom Petty the next time he comes around. I got years on Tom Petty. Bob Weird's fucking propped up by like staplers and
Yeah, it's weird how that works. Like, I saw Bob Dylan, and I didn't get
Yeah.
to see Tom Petty. Like, what the hell?
Tom Petty was like, no one really expected that one. It's not like he was
Yeah.
in bad health for a really long time. It was kind of sudden. Like, oh my God, man, he just bit it. Yeah, I was reading one of the things that Eddie said that he had throat cancer for a long time, and he had tongue cancer in like the 2000s, I think, and he blamed it on he used to put his picks in his mouth, and he would use brass and metal picks.
yeah.
And then he got it like the cancer right in the place where he would put the picks in his mouth.
yeah,
and his
probably
tongue.
fucking heavy metal poisoning.
Yeah,
Another thing too is they probably like,
literally.
I mean the
Damn.
the plating that they would do to those things is like a serious process filled with like noxious chemicals.
Yeah.
And you can't imagine that they had like a lot of safety standards for like
No, there was no EPA.
if you're buying a copper pick, you're not letting your infant like play guitar with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This is like
exactly.
I want a copper pick. Like just somebody coming at you like I play metal.
Mhm.
I need copper.
We're going to need you to sign this release form.
Dude, the thing you said about Jimi Hendrix reminded me of this thing. There was like, he opened up for Clapton one time, and like that day is like, it was before he was really well known, and that day is known as the day Clapton died, because he just, Clapton apparently got pissed afterward. He's like, you guys didn't tell me he was that good. Like,
yeah,
totally
I've
just
heard that
upshowed him.
before.
He was just trying to like help this dude out, like, and he like fucking.
That was I think that wasn't even really like a concert. That was just like a show at a bar or something. And like, yeah, he just went on there. He was like, dude, I thought I was giving this guy a chance. And I realized, yeah, he was fucking
Yeah,
Jimi
He
Hendrix.
just like blew him out of the water.
well, that's the whole
Clapton's
thing.
still the man though. Like,
That's like when the Who, what was it? The Who that they destroyed all their instruments and they wanted because they knew this was up next and they were like, we got to do something bigger than Hendrix. And then Hendrix was like, fuck you, I'll light my fucking guitar on
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
maybe that's where it started.
That was my
Or like music became a thing where it's like, okay, now it's like a scene. It's like, no, just play the fucking music, you know?
No,
Like, I don't know.
I love the Monterey Pop Festival because Hendrix, yeah, he burns the guitar, and I want to say he's like pushing the fucking amps down. He's like, "Fuck you, Who."
It's cool, but I feel like you're getting people hyped for the wrong reason. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like if like a band came on before me and they're like, oh, there's this, you know, we're afraid that they're gonna be better. Let's like do something at the end, like fuck all our instruments. Like that has nothing to do with the music. That's just me
Okay,
like, that
but-
thinks that way though.
this had something to do with the music.
No, it's
because
theatrical.
Yeah.
Which
I
is,
can- I- that's-
which is
yeah.
just as important, I think.
He throws this nasty solo down and then literally leaves the guitar plugged in, smashes it, and lights it on fire, and it's still plugged in and making noise. You know what I mean? So that's still music.
Yeah. I think it's cool if like you get to a point like that because you're shredding so hard and like you're like just the energy. You almost can't even contain yourself. Like that's what it is. You're just you know what I mean. At the end of it,
so much acid.
you're like, yeah, motherfucker. But then there's people that do that shit and they're trying to just be like, look at me, like, and
There's
it's
people
like
like-
you didn't even do anything cool.
Like Green Day plays 4 shitty songs,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, this break
We're so punk.
we can't
I'm not
afford to
Justin
replace
Bieber,
these.
you motherfucker.
Green Day, their first, I don't know if it was their first album, but it was like their 25th year anniversary the other day. It was like, holy fuck.
Wow.
I'm like 1 year older than this fucking album.
Wake me up when September ends. Am I right?
It's October. See you next year, dude.
Yeah, you American idiot.
Oh, sorry.
They're like, Billy, it's
Go off the
October.
Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Billy, wake up. It's October. What's that dude's? Billy Joel Armstrong?
Yeah.
Isn't there another guy named Billy?
Yeah.
I always get him, like, there's a
Billy
runner,
Squire.
right?
There's
is the night.
Who's the runner that's named Armstrong?
Lance?
Yeah, Lance.
He's a cyclist.
He's a biker.
Yeah,
Billie Jean King.
he cheated.
Armstrong. There's a lot of Armstrongs.
There's Neil Armstrong.
Lance.
Yeah.
Stretch Armstrong.
Isn't there a trumpet? Yeah.
Louis
What the
Armstrong.
fuck's going on with these Armstrongs?
Dude, okay, so let's talk about this for a second. All right, so, and we've covered this before, but isn't the play to have as many kids as possible? Because then, like the Armstrongs, like the Smiths, all right, think right now, there are so many fucking Smiths out there.
Do you think they're all like from
They're all
like,
related.
that can't be.
Dude, John
Can't be.
Smith came here and he fucked Pocahontas and every
Last
single
names
one of
came
their
from
friends-
like your occupation
dads,
or some
from
shit,
dads.
right? Like if you're a blacksmith and your last name is like Smith or some
no,
shit. Like.
last names always come from dads. Some dads are Smiths. Some dads.
But I'm
are,
like, how did last names start? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
usually had to do with
It'd be
your
like
like
Schumacher is
occupation.
like a shoemaker, and like that's just like the okay, it was probably blacksmiths.
It's like
But isn't it
people
fun
just
to
living
think
in
about-
villages and like Bill the Smith.
like my family, honestly, probably owned a bunch of pear trees wherever they were originally from, because that's what Perry means.
Yeah, it just gets like evolved over time, or like
But-
you know.
Like the Smiths, the Perrys are fucking out there like crazy, dude. There's probably like 15 Perrys where like at any corporation, like trying to go through a directory and you're like, okay, I gotta find Steve Perry, this bro. Dude, if you
Steve
type
Perry.
in Perry, it's probably a list of people, and you're like,
Oh yeah, you
shit.
can't even tell
Dude,
now. Like if you go on Facebook, there's a million Ian Lewises. Like you can't even. It's I do that sometimes
Lewis,
to see
too.
who else has
That's
my
the-
same name. I'm like, oh my
That's
god.
true.
You have
Look at
no
this fucking-
identity. This world- no.
I googled famous Armstrongs on ranker.com where they ranked the famous Armstrongs. We pretty much got all of them. I mean, there's about 25 of them that I have no idea who these people are.
How many Van Halens are there?
Bob Armstrong, an American professional wrestler and Hall of Famer, better known by his name, Bullet Bob Armstrong.
Bullet Bob Armstrong.
Famous Van Halens. There's probably just 2. I would imagine.
I'm guessing
I was-
it's just the 2.
They don't have a list for that one. It
I
just
was
says
being a
famous
little
Van
bit of a-
Halen songs.
There's no BuzzFeed article for that one.
Van Halen,
Okay.
sausage maker in Wisconsin.
I have this story pulled up. The one about Van Halen and Fred Durst. Let's
This is
just,
interesting.
okay, this is
Oh,
the-
this is a Doc Martens commercial.
This
I was going to say, is this a Van Halen song?
Yeah, he came out this right before.
we're brought to you by Doc Martin.
Hipsters and neo-Nazis
What's going on,
unite.
my fellow rock and rollers. Now, this is a story that came out pretty recently in a new book by filmmaker and photographer Andrew Bennett. Now, according to Bennett,
Bennett.
guitarist Eddie Van Halen once pulled a gun on Limp Bizkit frontman Fred Durst. Why did he do this? Well, you're going to find out.
Who
in
is
today's
Fred
video.
Durst? I've heard that.
The guy from Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Oh, right. You guys
In
were
the
saying
canon,
that.
212 Days and Nights with the Genius of Eddie Van Halen.
Dude, this guy's boring the
which
shit out of me.
chronicles the photographer's time filming a band in the studio between 2000
I don't have
and
attention
2007. And Bennett was working on a documentary about Van Halen, but once his filming had concluded, apparently the band wasn't happy with the footage, and it ran into a bunch of legal problems, and is most likely sitting in a vault somewhere.
Yeah,
We'll
this
talk
is.
more about the
I'm distracted by the
documentary at
beat.
end of the video.
Right?
Bennett
See
claimed in his
Jim.
book that both Fred Durst and Eddie Van Halen would meet each other shortly after Limp Bizkit guitarist Wes Borland had quit the band, and the group was looking for a new guitarist. Durst went as far as to go on Howard Stern's show to audition guitarists over the phone,
Hey
but he
now.
had no luck. Now, as reported by Ultimate Classic Rock, the book
Imagine
claimed
how
that
much
Fred
of a
Durst
joke
and
your
Eddie Van
band is like,
Halen
yeah, we're going to interview
attended the
people on
same
Howard
party
Stern.
and were introduced to each other by a record label executive.
Spend like a minute and a
Executive
half.
suggested. Now, the following day, Eddie would call up. Durst responded, "That would be hilarious. The greatest guitar player ever plays with the worst band ever." But Eddie would respond by
This
saying,
guy
"F
is
it, let's
very
jam."
low energy.
Now, shortly after the meeting, the pair set up a jam session at Durst's house in Beverly Hills. And shortly after the jam session started, Durst and his buddies started smoking pot. And Eddie wasn't too
Oh,
impressed.
is this over
and
10
abruptly
minutes?
left,
No.
leaving
I
his
was going to
guitar
say he's
amps
trying to
behind.
drag it out to get those.
Bennett would go on
to get it
claim it was like
monetized.
being a scholar amongst
Or whatever the hell.
kindergartners. Now, the following day, Eddie would call up
Can we
Durst to
pause this
arrange
real
to
quick?
pick up
Yeah.
his gear.
I just
but
want to
the guitar-
say, Eddie doesn't have to be such a dick over people just smoking weed. Okay, like everybody smokes weed. It's no different if these guys just cracked a fucking Bud Light.
Okay, that's probably how I read this is like they couldn't tell a story and be like, yeah, Fred Durst just like started doing heroin and breaking out blow and shit like that. But Eddie Van Halen, as a clean person, probably is just like, yeah, I had to say like that they were doing something that I didn't agree with, and then like, and you imagine Eddie Van Halen smoked some pot.
Eddie Van Halen probably shot her with heroin directly.
Maybe he
into
was
his
trying
dick.
like not to smoke weed or some shit. I don't know.
I would say too that if it was so they said that was that an audition that they were auditioning him?
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Okay, that's a little-
if that's the first time you're gonna go there, it's like I would expect if you have the legend of all legends in auditioning from your band, you'd be like, all right, guys, we got to be on our best behavior.
Okay, he probably shows. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like, dude, what am I doing? Like, you know?
But I do have to say too, like I did hear stories of like there in like the 80s, there was a point where like Eddie said he couldn't function without alcohol, so he'd just wake up and start cracking beers and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure when they auditioned Sammy Hagar, it was like the same thing where he woke up and they just immediately started smoking cigarettes and cracking beers and stuff like
That's
that.
how it was back then. People just,
Yeah.
that's what they did.
But then he probably, got sober and realized like, all right, this is more professional shit.
Yeah. It's like, sorry.
He shouldn't, it's Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
You gotta know what you're getting into. You can't just be like, oh, these guys are smoking weed. It's like, yeah,
Mhm.
it's Fred Durst.
Does Limp Bizkit do that one song? It's like, keep rolling.
Yeah.
What else do they do? What's the Limp Bizkit? I think I know.
Just
Like,
one of those days.
they're high energy. I remember I was on like a roller coaster one time, and it was
Welcome
like
to DraftKings.
you put like headphones on.
Brought to you by DraftKings. What's that?
Yeah, they do also Nookie. I did it all for the Nookie. Come on. So you could take that cookie and
What's
stick it up
the one
your-
band that's
yeah.
like, I want to get high?
That's Cypress Hill.
Yeah, that's right. And then the hits from the bomb. Don't they like tour and shit?
Yeah, we saw them with Slightly Stupid. Like
All three of those guys?
we saw Cypress Hill and Slightly Stupid in like 2015 in Boston.
But anyway,
Pepper.
I'm just gonna tell the story.
was
'cause
that?
that was
Butthole
Limp Bizkit.
surfer.
What'd you say?
Okay.
Miss it.
So nothing. I had a Limp Bizkit track queued up.
Are you ready?
Imagine Van Halen.
This is like a new one?
Fred Durst is just no. This is Urban Assault Vehicle with Limp Bizkit, DMX, and Method Man.
Yeah, I've heard this song. Like, what kind of mood do you got to be in?
Just imagine Van Halen just being like, yeah, gonna get out of here, man.
What is that? What is the Ben Folds song where he just makes fun of that? Where he makes fun of Fred? He's dressed up as Fred Durst the whole
Oh, that's
time.
Rockin' the Suburbs.
Rocking the Suburbs. Yeah, that's a great song. The whole music video is just him dressed like Fred Durst, just making a fucking ass of himself.
But so anyway, he jams with them, leaves his gear behind, and just leaves. And I guess he comes back. He's gone to like a military like supply place. Picked up like a fucking armored truck. He picked up guns. He picked up like all this shit to come get his gear because he like hit Fred Durst up for like 24 hours straight, and he just would not answer. And then he was just like, dude, this guy's gonna roll me for my gear. He's probably thinking like, yo, this guy has millions of dollars worth of gear.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And he just shows up with a gun, puts it to Fred Durst's head. It's like, go get my gear, motherfucker. It's just like,
I mean, good for him.
like Fred Durst sings about it. Eddie Van Halen does it. That's an urban assault vehicle.
Yeah.
He's rolling.
Yeah, for sure.
So basically what happened was he left his gear there and he wouldn't answer the phone when he wanted to get his gear back.
Yeah.
So he just showed up with a gun.
Well, it was like
And was like, give me my fucking gear back.
It was-
I mean, I don't blame him. I
it
would.
was longer than a day. You gotta assume like
There's
think
probably
about
more to it,
It was
than
probably that
too,
sick
you know.
red guitar
I'm sure he
with
gave-
the black and white stripes all over it.
I'm sure he gave him like a knock on the door and all that shit first.
I'm pretty
Maybe,
sure
I don't know. You think he went in like guns blazing, like, motherfucker, where's my shit?
you gotta imagine that like it was probably the 90s, and it was probably more of an answering machine type deal. And if Eddie Van Halen like left in a fucking
I would love to hear that like that
Dude.
voicemail.
Hi, this is Fred.
Voicemails back in the day.
Leave a message after the beep.
Hey, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
But like, think about it too. Eddie Van Halen built that guitar. Like he built like all his shit. So
Yeah, he had, what was it? I saw it the other day. He had like 5 patents on different like music equipment and stuff like that. Like, let's see which ones he had.
Here, let's start 3D printing guitars. Don't tell.
Yeah, there you go.
I think they've been on that though.
Oh,
If they're 3D
Stupid
printing guns,
Google.
they're 3D printing guitars.
I think they're 3D printing humans now.
Probably. It's like Westworld now. There's
Yeah.
just like little robots running around we don't even
you
know
just
about.
jerk off into like some kind of machine, and they're just like. Lean.
They pick it up while you're sleeping.
I have heard that they were trying to like get basically 3D printers to print organic material so you could 3D print like like organs.
I mean,
And
it's
stuff like
crazy.
that.
They're doing like surgery on grapes and shit now. I told you about the egg
Wait,
thing
hold
where
on.
they
What are
tried
they
to
doing with
like
the grapes?
harvest an egg. They like took the skin off like a very small sliver of
This
like,
is a
skin
meme.
on the grape, and then they had like these little robot tool. It's like a tool, but then it's like connects to these smaller fingers that like you can get more precise, and they're like sewing the fucking skin back onto the grape. It's crazy.
That's a meme. You didn't see that? They did surgery
But
on
I'm
a
saying
grape,
if they
bro.
can fucking do that, like, come on, you
That was-
can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, one of Eddie's patents was he patented a instead of a strap, it's like a plate that sits on your lap that like secures the guitar in place. So that way, when he was doing his like tap on like solo shit, the guitar wouldn't move
It's off
around,
his
and he could
shoulder.
just
Yeah.
basically just have it sitting on his lap.
So his guitar just basically stays put no matter what he does.
Well, that was one of the inventions that like he made, basically.
No,
like,
it's like the Thomas Edison guitar player.
it's awesome.
That kind of there's like it's like a Wolfpack offshoot, Fearless Flyers, and there's
Yeah.
one thing that they do that's really cool where all 3 of their guitars are all on stands, so they literally just walk up to the guitars and they're already
I think I've
there.
seen
They
that
just,
before. That's pretty
I don't
cool.
know why I was like, that's so fucking cool.
I like that. Like, yeah, they're not, it's like it's not even moving.
Yeah, it's like they can't actually like wiggle with it. They
Yeah.
just like walk up and it's just like I don't know. It's like
I think you play better. Yeah, you're just thinking
Yeah.
about playing it. That's it.
On another note, how weird is the internet? I just scrolled down like half a second, and it's just this diagram of damn ads. It's a diagram of someone like with their back arched, laying on the floor, and then you just see their intestines, and the headline is "How to entirely empty your bowels each morning in 1 minute."
you know what's really strange?
Who looked it up?
I think it'd be pooping though, right?
It's in the algorithm in the
Oh,
air
yeah.
somewhere.
Okay.
Oh, I would imagine it's I think doing some type of thing to make you poop.
Earlier, I was
My mom used to do that when I was a little kid. They'll like bend your like knees. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, work it out.
Out with bad, in with good. Out with bad, in with good.
I was pooping with the food.
Get it out.
I was Googling our president earlier, and there was like, you know how on Google it'll have like frequently asked questions under it. It just like there was like 2 questions, or it was just like, you know, does Trump own Trump Towers? And then it was just like, do airplanes really drop poop from the sky? And there was like 5 poop related questions. I was like, dude, how did this get mixed into this algorithm? Like,
I mean, I gotta say, I'm pretty interested about that too.
Dude, that's hilarious. What if the like pilots are like trying to figure out ways to like fucking drop fucking
poop.
shit on the Trump Towers, but they're like, oh, but what if he doesn't actually own it? You know, like then I don't want to do it.
If you
That's
look
bad
to your
fun.
left, we'll see Trump Towers.
they call it blue ice.
Dude, imagine being
That's poop.
Imagine being killed by just poop falling through the air. Like you literally got shit.
Joe
on your
Dirt
desk.
shit. Remember he finds the fucking
Yeah.
the like weird boulder, and then it turns out to be
It's a
fucking
bunch
big old dump.
It's a space peanut.
That's a fantastic movie.
It is.
I that shit used to come on.
Dave Matthews
Comedy
did that
Central.
shit, though.
Yeah, all the time, and I'd be like, all right, I'll watch some Joe Dirt. You could just like watch little bits and like
Yeah,
not
it's
even
a good
watch the
movie.
end of it or whatever.
Joe-
Hop in wherever.
Joe Dirt's a great example of a movie that shows that IMDb scores mean nothing, because Joe Dirt probably has a 3 or a 4 on IMDb.
Does it really?
Let's see what Joe Dirt's
I
got.
got-
It's definitely not high.
That's why what's the one, is it Rotten Tomatoes that has the critic score and the audience score, so you could see
Yes.
like, and some movies
I
they're
don't
so
even get how it
drastically
works.
different. Like there's so many things that
Joe
you could
Dirt got
really
a 10%.
I got a bunch of Disney
Yeah, like,
movies
fuck
on
that.
here. All right, so fucking are these are movies that got 0 or like almost 0? What? All right, what the fuck?
Okay, I
is
got
this whole
10%.
movie?
10% from the.
All right,
the
Chicken
critics.
Little. Remember Chicken Little?
Yeah.
I kind of liked that. I
I
don't
like
think it was
Chicken-
that bad.
I only saw it once
When I was a kid,
but I
anyway.
liked it when I was a kid. I thought I was going to hate it.
I hated Chicken Little's face.
Oh, is that the fucking?
Little Weasley.
That's
chicken.
probably why it got 10%. Everyone hated his face.
You know who played him too was JD from Scrubs.
Oh.
Zach Braff.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, I think it's
Dead
JD.
Man Tell No
Oh,
Tales.
yeah, sorry.
I honestly didn't like the Pirates of the Caribbean. My mom like took me to see him, and I like walked out. I was like, Mom, I'm gonna go play. Yeah, I was like, Mom, can I go play arcade games? Like, what the fuck is this shit?
There's this one thing I just saw. It's fucking hilarious. It's Johnny Depp on. It's some Ricky Gervais thing, but Johnny Depp is just playing himself, and he just like shows up to Ricky Gervais's like desk, and he's just like, I don't know, he keeps like ashing his cigarette in Ricky Gervais's cup and just like talking shit to him the whole time. It's really fucking funny.
You guys ever watch Nathan For You?
Yeah,
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
yeah.
Do you ever see the one
Love
where
that
he
show.
gets like the impersonator that looks like Johnny Depp?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they do like a fake movie, and then they have people come in, they think it's Johnny Depp, and they're all acting like starstruck and
And
like,
they
oh, I'll do anything for you.
they convince them that they're in the store and then they're going to be in the movie, and then they make them buy the products for real. So that way they have to that's how that business makes money.
Yes. that
So
was-
funny.
Alice Through the Looking Glass also got 0. I saw the first
saw that
Alice in
one.
Wonderland, but
This is the Johnny Depp.
Lads.
Hi.
So yeah, I'm popping here what every other day to see you guys, aren't I?
Seems like it.
Have you met before? Johnny, this is Stephen
Hello, all right, nice to meet you. No.
and Ricky there.
I actually remember him from the Golden Globe.
oh yeah, because
How's
he
it
was
going?
pissed at him for saying something about him.
Fine. Just
Oh,
doing another
your
film
shit does
that's
what
gonna
mine
make loads
does.
of money.
Got to use Safari.
Probably a lot more money than any film you've ever made.
Good.
And you?
Yeah, just writing and I write and direct all my own stuff.
How great for you. That must be so great. You know, I'm working with a great director now, a guy named Tim Burton. Have you ever heard of him?
Of course.
Yeah. The film itself is really brilliant, and I'm playing a very interesting character. Do you have any idea who my enemy lady is on this film?
In the Tim Burton film.
Yeah.
Helena Bonham Carter?
How'd you know?
Stab in the dark.
She thinks you're an idiot.
Sorry, have I done something to offend you?
What do you mean, like trashing me in front of like 200 million people at the Golden Globes.
It was a while ago. They were
Johnny
jokes,
Depp's American,
Johnny.
right?
Oh, they were jokes.
Yeah.
I
You like
think
jokes?
he's got like an accent or some
Yeah,
shit.
he's one
I
of those
actually got
weird
together with a
people
few
that's
pals.
like
He like
you know
wants
they're
to be
from
British or
America.
something.
And we wrote
He's
some
been
jokes.
acting the whole time, guys. You don't
About
get it.
you.
It's his masterpiece.
I want you to know this.
I want you to
Carry
know
with
this.
you
Like that.
the rest of
Bro, you're
your
not from
days.
England.
No one makes fun of Tim Allen on my watch.
Maybe spend a lot of time there. I don't know.
He's from Owensboro, Kentucky.
You can pick up
Don't say
accents.
anything.
He's from
Keep that
Kentucky?
in-
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything.
Nastier than
Trying to be Jack Sparrow for real.
He's trying to leave that world
Dude.
behind.
He looks exactly
Why do
like
people take an instant
this looks like
dislike?
the Hunter S. Thompson
Because it
hair.
saves time.
Mhm.
He's got like the Thompson hat.
Why did Rick
Glasses.
Gervais do a series of audiobooks so that the blind could hate him as well? Now this is from Angelina.
This is like a
Tell
bit
Ricky
though.
Gervais that me and
Yeah, this
Brad
is him
have a
like
picture
just
of him
playing
on our
himself.
mantelpiece because it keeps the kid away from the fire. And why
What does
isn't
the
Ricky
show,
Gervais circumcised?
Extras?
Because there's no end to that prick. Did you quit Twitter recently?
Well, like 2 years ago. Yeah.
But you quit Twitter,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And did you not quit because it only has 140 characters?
Well, the joke I made at the time was I'm so verbose that I can't say everything in 140 letters. So I
Right.
do the joke. What's the joke?
I hear that Ricky Gervais quit Twitter recently because it only has 140 characters. Well, that's 139 more characters than he's ever come up with.
Oh,
Good joke. I mean, the telling of it took about as long as parts of the
That's
goddamn
funny.
But yeah,
on this
good
same
job.
show, Liam Neeson has a spot on the show. He just keeps talking about how he's full blown AIDS. He's like, I got AIDS from an African prostitute.
Bro, you remember Flubber?
Of course.
Classic.
Shit, that got 0 in Rotten Tomatoes.
Did it
Well,
really?
it's just this. I'm just looking for like things to prove what you said. Like it doesn't fucking
Yeah.
ratings. Shit doesn't matter. Like
if I watched
Flubber's a great movie.
Flubber now, I'd probably not.
I probably would.
I'd probably put a gun to my head.
I was going to say that's the classic example of one of those movies that you loved when you were a kid, but you'd probably watch now and be like, all right, this is not nearly as good as
I wanted a Flubber so bad. I was like, man,
It's like you.
how do I
loved
get
it-
a Flubber?
you loved it as a kid, but really your parents were like, something is mentally wrong with my child. 'cause
And then
he's
you're-
watching Flubber.
And then your parents are just like, now he wants this thing that I can't get him. There's no physical way of getting a Flubber. They don't exist.
Hold on, my mom felt that way about Joe Dirt.
Just put a
Like,
chipmunk in a glove.
the way that I would watch Joe Dirt, like, if I'm skimming channels and it was on, like my whole family had to stop and we'd watch Joe Dirt every single time. My mom would be like, "Oh, it's Joe Dirt again." Like, "Oh,
Mhm.
Ed, it's the stupidest movie." Like all this stuff, and then now, like 15, 20 years later, whatever it is, I think it's a 2001 film. My mom loves Joe Dirt. Do you know?
You brought her around.
Brain,
Yeah.
bro. It gets better. It's like Kung Pao. It gets better the more times you watch it because as you age, you laugh at different parts, and then
It kind of reminds me of like my mom's experience with Napoleon Dynamite. Like she just started watching it because it was just on in the background, and she was like, "This movie is so fucking stupid. It's funny."
dude,
Yeah, that's
I gotta
right.
watch that movie again. Napoleon Dynamite.
It's so good. It really is. Luckily, I had a lot of the similar taste that with my parents had. Like, you ever watch UHF, the
you
Weird
watch a
Al
lot
movie?
of Dr. Oz.
Oh, well, I should specify my dad, not my mom. I didn't
Oh.
watch Dr. Phil on repeat.
Bro, Inspector Gadget, like the live action
Yeah.
movie. I loved that shit. That got
Yeah.
0.
I did not see it.
I did not
Yeah.
see it.
Oh man, you gotta see.
It's good.
It's I don't know, man.
Great
It probably
movie.
won't hold up.
I was gonna say I don't gotta see it now.
It'll what's his name? There's a
The guy that won.
yeah, he hit
Broderick.
someone in a car. I actually
Ferris Bueller.
part of this thing I wanted to start with the like ruining your childhood. Do you remember the what's it called? The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody on
yeah.
Disney Channel. So you remember the dude? The hell was his name?
Big Daddy?
Nah, he was like the head honcho of the whole like hotel there. You know,
London something. Something London.
Yeah, you
Mr.
know-
London.
Yeah, something like that. Well, anyway, that dude's actor's name is Phil Lewis, and same thing. He actually he like killed someone in a drunk driving accident. That fucked.
Yeah.
No shit.
All right,
Ruin Zach and Cody for you.
Yeah.
I never really liked that show to begin with.
Well, anyone listening, I didn't like it either.
My mom used to watch that. Like I was when I was too old. Like I would come home from work. I would be working at Dunkin' Donuts and come home from work, and she'd be watching The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and she'd be like, "Oh, they're just two twins." Like,
It's like
are you really
it's like a
watching this right
sitcom?
now?
I mean, it is a sitcom.
They always kind of reminded me of your one cousin.
Oh yeah.
Like they kind of look similar, right?
You know that's the kid. Those are both the kid from Big Daddy.
I didn't know that.
What's Big Daddy?
Okay, Big Daddy.
Oh,
is
yeah,
the Adam
yeah,
Sandler
yeah,
film.
yeah.
Wait, those are the same kids?
Yeah. So that's the little Julian kid or whatever. Or
Oh,
not
no
Julian,
shit.
Frankenstein. Yeah, that's how Hollywood had to do it with child labor laws. Is they'd have to get like a set of twins that can act because then they could work like
No
long,
way.
quick hours.
Whoa, that's fucking crazy. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Sister.
Yeah,
Sister,
same thing.
Sister. I think there's two
they're like
Ravens.
twins.
They should bring that show back and just give it like
We'll work around your child labor
I
laws
actually
with the
teach-
twins.
teacher.
I saw a BuzzFeed article where Tia hasn't talked to Sister Tamara since COVID.
Oh my god.
It's like, what can
What
we
a
do
tragedy.
Oh,
to get
you
the
know
Mallory
what's
sisters back together?
you know what's a tragedy is that show on Netflix where they try to like redo Fuller House.
Mhm.
I didn't watch Full House. I'm not going to watch Fuller House.
I liked
Fuck
Full
off.
House when I was a kid.
Yeah, what do you
Good
do
life
you not have a
lessons.
soul?
But the Fuller House is like, come on, you guys are just trying to
Well,
get some
they
cash
don't
out of
have-
Full House.
They don't have the Olsen twins, right?
No, I don't. Yeah, they like write them off. You know, they like
The
say
only
some
way
shit
that
like,
would
"Oh,
work is if you have both those crackheads back in there. And
Yeah.
you swap them out just like you did back in the day.
the writing's just bad. Period. It's not a good show.
Well, I just don't think John Stamos, is
Yeah.
enough to.
You gotta have him.
Is Bob
Is
Saget
he in it? He's yeah.
You
I
guys
don't know.
want to see one that cracks me up? It's
Is that Mike Tyson?
It's the Family Matters theme, but with Mike Tyson as every character. So, well, now it's going to take its time.
I was
We're
like,
probably gonna
dude,
see
I
an
really
ad.
hope that's Mike Tyson.
But yeah, oops. Now we gotta.
Would you be opposed to
Up the
playing
sound.
that Trump ad you showed me, or whatever the fuck that thing was you showed
Yes.
me? Okay.
Oh, let me rewind it here so we can get the whole thing.
Family Matters.
It's a rare condition this day and age.
It's the dad, Harriet,
Sweetie.
the grandma.
He probably thinks his best.
Eddie.
There's like a show on Adult Swim. I don't think it's on anymore,
The
but
little kid, right?
it was like Mike Tyson. It was like a cartoon with Mike Tyson and like this bird and
Urkel as Tyson.
I used to think that dude with Urkel was like a whole different show. Like I thought he had his own show. You know what I mean?
He literally made this his show.
I mean, yeah, like
Did it turn into like
He was supposed to be like a one-off character, and then like fucking everybody loved him.
the only people that anybody remembers is like him and the dad, Carl Winslow, the guy from Die Hard.
Yeah, the guy yelling at him.
There's this dude, LA Beast.
Steven!
And he bought like this fucking box of cereal called Urkelos that was like from the 90s and ate the whole thing. And it was like Urkel on. It was like Fruit Loops. They were
That's
like
funny.
pink and yellow, like little circles. Urkelos.
That's great. Yeah.
He said it was good though, actually. Like even though it was 20 years old.
My brother Steve had it was a Pepsi can with Anakin Skywalker on it from like the year 2000.
Like unopened.
Yeah, it was just
from,
unopened. It had like a picture of
You gotta
young
save it.
Anakin's face on it. I think he drank it when he went to college or came back from college, but he had it for years. I think he said it was pretty disgusting.
I
You
would
get
imagine
money for that stuff just
It was in a
based on
can?
nostalgia.
Yeah, it was an unopened can. It just had.
Star Wars Episode 1
Dude,
special.
you remember
Pepsi.
that, right?
Dude,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was the best time for Pepsi in my mind, all right? Is when episode 1 came out, they did this piggyback thing. They were promoting each other's stuff. I remember at camp, I would go to this one vending machine, and every time I opened a cap, you had an opportunity to win a free Pepsi, right? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
They
Do you
still got
remember opening
little
caps
stuff.
and being like, I could just go want a free Pepsi? like so lit to tell my mom, and then I made her drive me to the beverage store to get a free Pepsi redemption. Be like, I can't believe I won! Like it's 1 in a million! Like it was like the first thing that I won. And I was like, I'm gonna drink
That's
Pepsi
funny.
forever.
Now it's all like enter the code in online and,
Oh,
and
so
earn up to
annoying.
700 of these. And
Dude, it was like the following year, like the internet came out or was bigger now.
Yeah.
And they were like, now enter this code. Then you can win 1 million Pepsis.
Dude, you know what's a myth that everybody? You guys ever eat Tootsie Roll Pops?
Yeah.
You know how
Yeah.
like the rappers they got like the
Indian Joe?
the star.
Oh, yeah, I know
the
about
dude
Indian
shooting
Joe.
the star. So they would say like if you collected like 10 or 5 of those, you could like turn them. That's like all bullshit.
Well,
That's not
you know
even
what?
true. They never said that.
Did you ever collect all of them? Did you have
I would
all?
collect.
Did you ever bring them to a candy store? I always saved them, would lose them because I was a kid and eating fucking Tootsie Pops. There was no way I could allocate my Indian Joe wrappers all together and get all my ducks in a row. But I imagine that if you showed up and you had like a bunch of those and they were like, all right, yeah, give the kid the fucking $1.50 thing of Tootsie Pops. Let's get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Because he
Dude,
bought like 15 of those packs. There's only one per pack.
When
I
you
mean,
buy
that's
like
true.
a pack of Tootsie Roll Pops, it's like buying like a pack of like cards or like Pokemon cards or something. You
No,
never
it's
know
like
what
a pack
you're.
of cigarettes.
Well, there's all different kinds in there. Like they give you like this little strip to see what's in there, and I'll like look around and see what I got. And
Lollipops were invented by the tobacco companies to get kids to start smoking with cigarettes. All right, because it's the kids' version of a cigarette. You look cool as shit if you're
Very
eating a
true.
lollipop as a kid. I
I
smoked so many
prefer without
lollipops
the
as a
stick.
kid.
I if I could without that stick, it's for a choking
You
hazard.
kind of look cool now, just eating a
It's so you
lollipop.
don't like
you
get
look
it
like a
dislodged in your throat. It's not.
No,
Yeah.
but
It could be. I don't know. Maybe there's something behind that.
Yeah.
But I always thought it was so like in case you choke on it, you can like pull it out of your mouth.
no, I think it's to make candy last longer and make you look cool eating it.
Yeah, that's
But-
probably true too.
Think about like all the like as a kid, I was the candy cigarettes. I would fuck with those. I would
Oh
fuck
yeah,
with
those were.
They
that's
sell
awesome.
candy cigarettes next door.
get a pack, get fucked up.
Fuck hell yeah, bro.
Put down a pack
Get
of
fucked up.
cigarettes.
We'll go next door, get some candy cigarettes
Oh.
and some K2.
We got a Flintstones cigarette commercial right here.
Oh yeah, fuck
Kinda.
us up.
Kind of wraps
Need
into
the,
all that.
Hey, Barney, let's smoke a pack.
Yeah,
Where's that
is
bitch Wilma
hilarious.
at?
This is
I
probably
don't
from
want her to
like
get
the 70s or something. I don't really know. It's in black and white. So
Dude, Fred's such a
really
piece of
mad.
shit. If you go back and watch the Flintstones,
are we ready? Here we go.
Gee, we ought to do something, Fred. Okay? How's about taking a nap? I got a better idea. Let's take a Winston break. That's it.
A Winston break.
Winston is the one filter cigarette
My
that
parents
delivers
smoke
flavor
Winstons.
20 times a pack. Winston got that filter blend. Yeah, Fred. Filter blend makes the big taste difference, and only Winston has it up front where it counts. Here, ahead of the pure white filter. Winston packs rich tobaccos specially selected
I feel like
and
we're
specially
like
processed
airing a
for quick
commercial.
flavor
We are.
filter smoking. Yeah,
Wilma
buddy,
and,
Winston tastes
Just to
good,
disclose,
like,
don't smoke cigarettes.
I've never wanted a cigarette more in my life.
Yeah, during that they're like
The Flintstones.
the Winstons have the long white front, and then Wilma and Betty are looking at each other like, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh, and there's a little more.
Has been brought to you by Winston, America's best-selling, best-tasting
Like
filter.
Fred and Wilma are like inside smoking Winston cigarettes.
So my
I
mom
literally
smokes-
just got done boning.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's probably what happened.
I like to think that my mom and grandma picked up smoking Winstons because of this commercial. They were Marlboro people through and through, and then they saw Fred and Barney, and they're like, you know what? Let's get a Winston pack.
yeah.
It was just over from there.
There's something about like I saw a dude in a Marlboro jacket. He was like an old man, and I was like, "The fucking jacket's sick, dude. I want that Marlboro
They're like
jacket."
Winston's since 2000 BC.
Those are cool. Like,
Dude. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I have like there's a Marlboro bag. How you would get these is you would smoke so many packs of Marlboros. You would cut like the little proof of purchase off, and you just ship them back like a trash bag full. They'd be like, "This guy smokes a lot of our cigarettes. We need to get him jackets. We need to get him duffel bags." Like everybody who smoked Marlboros has that shit. Like
yeah, Marlboro Bucks, I think they were called.
yes. So like my dad had crazy amounts of Marlboro shit. if you're in any garage sale, there's a Marlboro duffel bag just waiting to be picked up, or like one of those red jackets that has like some burn holes from when they're like the person started dying and falling asleep.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I don't like that shit. Like wearing things that like I smoke cigarettes. Like, why are you proud of that? Why are you like promoting that?
Well, I think it's
even if you smoke cigarette, like what's the point of promoting it to someone that's not?
It's just
because it's cool.
But like, my point is like, okay, the companies, whatever, they're making money off of it. They're like, they have a reason. But if you're just like wearing that shit, it's like, bro, you're not cool. Like, you're not.
If you love your brand, like, let's say this: if I smoked 2 packs of Marlboros a day, I love Marlboro. Everything that I've ever done, I did while doing it. I did smoking Marlboro in my mouth. All right. So if you look back there's pictures of me in my past life drinking a classic Budweiser and holding a Marlboro, and I got the pack hanging out of my pocket. Dude, give this man a Marlboro jacket. He loves that product. It's just like the same thing with like driving Cadillacs. Like if you love Cadillacs, sure, get a Cadillac tattoo. Nobody fucking cares.
I mean, like I honestly thought about, because like Sean gave me the idea, which I kind of wish I did it, where he was like, dude, you should save all of your Ben & Jerry's containers in a year and then just send them to Ben & Jerry's and be like, this is how much ice cream I ate. And
they probably would give you something too.
They would want to study you for scientific research.
That's the kind of place too, though, where they would shout you out. They'd be like, yo, this guy likes Ben & Jerry's.
That was like 3 years ago he gave me that idea, and I've probably eaten over 1,000 things of Ben & Jerry's.
Good ice cream. You should do something where you like build something with it, like build like a.
Did you guys see that the house in Florida where the wallpaper is all Bud Light or it's all Budweiser cans? The whole house is just decked in Budweiser cans, and I guess whoever buys the house, Budweiser said they're going to give them Budweiser for life.
How much is it? Because I mean,
look it up. It was like it was like last week, 2 weeks ago.
There's what they've been doing.
What if you're like sick one day, like you're throwing up and got the runs, and like all you see around you is fucking Budweiser cans. You're just like, oh, please no.
It's only 100,000, guys. 100.
It should be less, dude. With the house made out of cans.
But, okay,
no.
When you get it, you get a lifetime supply of Budweiser.
Oh, okay. Just
it
inside.
Would be like if the walls, the molding, the ceiling, everything was just Budweiser cans.
It probably gets cold as fuck.
Dude, imagine how many flies there are in there.
Yeah, they're all used.
Dude, did the person rinse them? Like, imagine if it's just like this is just a drunk person who just
it's like the flight sticky.
Yeah, imagine walking through that house with like a real estate agent and asking them all these questions. Did they rinse the cans before they made the wall?
It's like you want to put a picture on the wall, but like you don't even need to nail it. You just
guess where it is. To the wall. Did he say where it is?
I think so. It was Florida.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
of course,
he is a Buffalo Bills fan.
Oh, good.
Dude, actually, it's pretty cool. He's also a Yankee fan. This is a New York boy. New York boy moved down to Florida and started just saving his cans. It's Lake Worth, Florida.
Good for him.
Oh, okay. The home was purchased and it started at $100,000. So now I bet you he's like, look at this art I made. It's like $1 million.
No, I believe the guy that owned the house died.
Oh, he's dead as fuck, huh? Oh, it just sold for $100,000.
Why didn't we buy that?
He died of cancer. Too much Budweiser.
Yeah, but guess what age he was?
69. That guy fucking partied. Do you think maybe he was like, all right, made it to 69. Got it.
Look at that house. Those are some vintage. That's a nice shot.
He was probably buying these cans to do this.
That does look pretty cool. I imagine I would, like, if there was one room of that, I would be like, it's my Budweiser room. It's cool. But having the entire house like that, I'd probably get sick of that. Be like, all right, this is...
Yeah, but you get Budweiser for life as long as you don't tamper with it.
Yeah, like Ian said, like when you're throwing up, like after a few years, you'd be like, no more Budweiser.
It would ruin Budweiser for you.
I just want a Miller.
Dude,
too much of anything you love is like...
Yeah,
it ruins it.
This is what happens. They know that.
If you ate 5 Ben & Jerry's in one day, you'd definitely be like, oh, like, you'd be so sick.
Well, I mean, I'd probably have to think of me and poop, but I'd probably go for my 6th one the next day.
As long as they're all different flavors. Be all
No,
right.
just half baked.
Is that your only
Half-
favorite?
yeah,
Just
half-baked,
taking these
that's what I fuck
half-baked
with.
shits, just only eating Ben and Jerry's, just shitting only cookie dough and ice cream soup. But,
God, man, you're making me hungry.
but yeah, they know that immediately you're gonna stop taking their product. That's why they do that. They're like, all right, so we just give him all this, and then he's gonna infect all the people around him with the love for our product. Because anytime his friends come over, it's just like, dude, there's free Budweiser, and they're just gonna have as much Budweiser, and you're just like furthering the product still. It's brilliant.
It's good advertisement. What was the town? Didn't Budweiser buy like a city and they turned it into like
How do you buy a city?
Money.
I didn't know that was possible.
it was
You show up to a ghost town and you're like,
whatever USA.
So like a town, a city is fucking nuts.
Yeah. Bud Light turns tiny ski town into whatever USA.
That's
So
pretty
they
cool.
just bought it, and then like it was just it's people riding on blue Bud Light horses and having like concerts and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
everything's paved in Bud Light.
it sounds like a place with a high rate of date rape.
It definitely does.
I want to.
Do
Like
you remember? Sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, they had this campaign for Bud Light where it was like, take no out of your vocabulary.
Yeah.
Whatever USA.
Yeah, they very quickly got shut down.
They were like, guys,
Don't
guys.
tell us no.
Don't never say no.
It's like that fucking thing in Family Guy. He's like, smoke. You smoking yet?
Not now, Jerry.
No, what I was gonna say
Very
is
funny.
that's like cool that there's like abandoned towns and shit. Like I want to go like explore abandoned towns.
Oh,
Do you know
dude,
why they're
That'd be
banned?
so cool.
Yeah, when I drove
Probably
through
for fucked up
Colorado,
reasons, but I'd still do it.
Colorado and not Arkansas, Arizona, so many just fucking ghost towns. You
Like, how's
drive
that
through.
even-
That's cool.
So
It
many.
is. It's like people
Yeah,
like
like
just
Wild
were here
West
and now they're not.
towns.
Like how the fuck? How's that happen?
People try and colonize them. Like I was watching this. I watched this. I watched this thing. It's like living big in a tiny house, and people. It's just like alternative living, and you get like this one woman just like straight up bought a ghost town because it was like basically free, and it's like in a very unforgiving part of the desert, and like her entire life revolves around trucking water in to this fucking place and then like having enough food and supplies for her dog and shit like that. But she has this cool town and she's literally step by step rebuilding all the buildings that were still existing and turning them into like little shits. And she's basically trying to like, she's gonna sell houses there. You know?
Maybe I saw her because there was one ghost town we drove through where there was literally one lady on a rocking chair that in front of a building that looked like no one had been in it in fucking 80 years. I was like, dude, who is Grandma Death here?
I know in California there's like a ghost town that got inhabited by these people. I think it's in California, and they separated from the U.S. and like I guess like back in when Barack Obama was the president, he like sent them a thing, you know, that was like it was just like a welcome card, like it was just like humoring them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sovereign citizens.
That's like Petopia, that episode where
Yeah, it was literally exactly like that. But I don't know. They did like this documentary, and they were like, "Yeah, you got to protect yourself." And I don't know. It was,
There's
didn't
nobody else in the
seem like
city.
you'd want to really live there.
It's all like-minded people, right?
Sounds like Jonestown, if you ask me.
Jones and
Well,
back of Marlboro Town.
yeah, that's what
right.
happens. People like all start off like
Jones is
equal,
flavor
and then
made.
when you lose all your stuff, they like start taking from other people.
Yeah.
Not every time, but you know, that's what people do.
When
That
people get desperate.
Dude, okay. If you were gonna live like that type of like alternative living life, like what type of climate would you want to live in? Because
Somewhere-
deserts last for me.
deserts, yeah,
Somewhere cold.
somewhere right in
Really?
between.
Oh yeah, I want to feel like I'm fighting to live every day.
You ever see that? What's that show where the people in Alaska that
Yeah,
like
Bush
it's a
people,
good show.
right?
There's a
I
couple
think so,
shows.
something like that, or like Life Below Zero was one of them. I
Yeah, they
think.
gotta like deal with bears and
Yeah, you gotta like
All
basically
sorts of
spend
shit.
half of your year like gathering like supplies for winter and like food and stuff like that.
One of the best things I saw in that Idiot Abroad show is like they like because they hunt whales and that's a big part of their their ecosystem. But then they have these giant whale bones and there's nothing to do with them. So they literally just put them in the street where you're just like, okay, now I'm driving under this fucking whale's rib cage because they're like, we can't throw this out. Like, it's just,
Oh, they
cool.
at least they do that. That's cool. I thought you meant like just they throw it in the street like trash, and then there's cars like driving over it.
It's trash. Like they have nothing to.
But they
can't
like
do
arc
anything
it
with it.
kind of like over the street. You're saying?
Well, in some cases, yeah, but in other cases, you're just like, oh, that's just a pile of whale bones because we can't do anything with them.
Isn't there? It could be marrow, right? In the inside.
just boil them in the Antarctic. You gotta get like a big vat of
Crush them.
water boiling.
Fucking feed it to the dogs.
Yeah. There's a picture of just one like on the side of the like looks like it's near the ocean. They didn't have anything to do with it, so they just.
Dude, I feel bad for the whales.
Yeah,
dude, I would love to have a fucking whale skeleton in my house.
Dude, you could make a house out of a whale skeleton.
Like a museum just hanging from the ceiling.
Whales are a crate. Like if you hunt, you're eating for months.
Yeah, that's the thing that like
much food.
I want to say it sucks to kill whales, but I'm sure that these people don't kill that many whales, right?
No, they make their fucking shoes.
Maybe like one or two a year, I'd say.
And they use like it's not like,
yeah, I mean, like these pictures right here, I mean, they're all like scraped clean. I don't know if it's because of decomposition or whatever, but or
probably
if it's
a little bit of both, but yeah.
I'm sure they get as much as they can, you know?
Yeah. I don't know if they do it the same way for whales, but I know with like fishing off the East Coast, what they do is they make zones, so you're allowed to fish in this zone and then allowed to fish in the other zone or not allowed to fish in the other zone. So the way it works out is they end up like reproducing and stuff like that, and if they like do it in the right zones, they won't like the species won't go extinct. They're like it'll be its own ecosystem, so it's like cool. All perfectly like balanced out. But then dickheads break the law and just go fishing in the non-fishing zones, and then fucking animals go extinct.
We got a shout out from Paul on the desert colony part. He said Charles Manson did it right in the desert eating pussy.
That's right. Yeah. He did do that.
What an absolute legend! And
yeah, Charles Manson. What a nut that guy was.
I do feel like though, if you did start a colony
right?
out.
Where's the Netflix series for that guy?
It's got to be a cult. That's the only way you can get people to stay out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Just have them show up with everything they own, and then just be like, "This is all ours now."
Yeah.
And then like you have to come back to the desert colony. What did you say?
No, I'm just like, does he have like a Netflix thing?
Manson?
Like
I feel like that's coming.
I'm sure he's got like 10 different documentaries because that was like a pivotal point in history. Like that was like the end of the hippie counterculture shit movement. Like, you know?
Yeah, he pretty much he ended that shit.
That was a big bummer. Everybody's out there chirping, and then like they're just like, "Oh, he killed a pregnant woman, man."
Yeah, what is it? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is about that, basically.
Well, it's
kind
not,
of
it's historical, but yeah, it's like it's like I can't even say it. I don't want to give it away if anybody hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Really?
No.
It's good. Pretty
good. You gotta watch.
It was good, but I didn't think it was great. We can debate this for hours, but anyway. Yeah, Charles Manson. But Charles Manson's only in the movie for like 1 second. He just shows up on driveway.
Wait, you're gonna spoil who plays Charles Manson, or is that a spoiler?
I think it's
just some guy.
Caviezel?
Quentin Tarantino.
No, the guy who played Jesus.
Makes sense.
Wow, talk about a 180 for that guy.
You know, just because you said Jesus, it reminded me of it. Something popped up on my radar.
Hang on.
I got a couple things too now.
Yeah, something on my radar, which shout out to Josh McDonald. I hit my fucking my tape deck thing, and Chimera Camera started playing. God, I gotta say that is a fantastic album.
That's a hit record,
dude. I've listened to that. And I've just
what's the album?
Oh, Jim, hang on a second.
Chimera Camera. It's the Loveport album that they made last year. And I gotta say, I've been listening to it in my car all week. It is fucking so good.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's the radar.
The radar sound.
Yeah.
All right, what do I got?
Chimera Camera. Give that a listen.
Chimera Camera. Have you ever heard actually any of Charles Manson's music?
Yes.
No,
he has one song that's Like I like
I think
some
I
of
had
his
it.
songs. He's not bad. Here we go.
DJ, you might be complicit in some murders.
This is how it starts. They're like, he actually is not bad at writing music. He must be a god.
Fuck tuning guitars, right? I'm just kidding. I don't know.
He's a good singer. He's not bad.
Yeah, man, you want to come out in the desert with me?
There is like an eerie feel to it, though. Like even if you didn't know what he did, it's like I don't know, it feels weird. I don't know. Is that just me?
Yeah, because like no, this is I'm pretty sure like this is what like sent him off the deep end is he recorded all his music and then record producers were like, yeah, man, this isn't really that good, and then he's like, all right, time to start a cult.
I'll show you what good is, man.
Yeah.
So
You don't know what good is.
I
You
think
feel
that
blamed.
I think it was more like they saw that this guy had basically he was like a pimp in Hollywood, right?
Mhm.
Like he would just show up with like not even legal chicks and just like go invade like the Beach Boys parties and shit
Yeah.
like that, and like pimp people out to Brian Wilson or whatever from the Beach Boys there,
Yeah.
and
Dennis.
then also was it Dennis?
Yeah.
One of
Sorry.
the yeah.
I don't.
It
one of
wasn't
the
Brian.
One of the Wilsons. Anyway, continue.
I don't know. But and then like the CIA were like, yo, let's like look into this guy, and then you've heard of like MK Ultra and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like they were just like, yeah, let's get him, and then we'll end this hippie bullshit.
Mhm.
And then they set him up to fucking basically collect as much power in the fucking counterculture community and like pimp out these chicks to like people. I'm sure it was just like, I don't know, tinfoil hat moment, but the CIA had something to do with Manson. That's all we know.
Yeah.
And they kept letting him go too. It's like they knew what he was doing and they wanted to see like how far it would go.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they just kept giving him slaps on the wrist and being like, all right. Like he just kept going to like, and then the cops would be like, all right, we got to charge him with something. And they'd be like, someone up higher up be like, all right, let him go. And like, why?
This was before Bill.
He's
For him.
robbing cars and
Yeah.
shooting and like very violent crimes.
Yeah.
He
What
has
a crazy
power in the
guy.
desert.
Very interesting.
So it was the CIA.
Was the CIA 100%.
I also like the idea of Dennis like bringing him around there. He's like, you guys got to meet this. He's actually pretty cool. You got to meet this guy Charles I know. And then he comes over and starts like trying to take power and control and like, you guys, I need to do all that. And everyone's like, who is this guy? Get him out of here.
He shows up. They're like, yo, Charlie says he's got some acid from the government.
Yeah.
You want to try it out? This is the shit that they're working on in laboratories. He's also got some 14-year-old chicks.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, yeah, get in. Fuck, he also plays guitar. This guy's in the band.
That's what they use in MK Ultra is LSD.
And underage women to be like, all right, yeah, just go out. Like, dude, somehow, like, this was like the thing. You run away as a girl in Hollywood and you just wind up in Charlie Manson's cult. And then, like, the dudes, he uses them to recruit dudes and muscle and shit like that. It's really fucked up. It's like a chessboard that, like, the CIA were just moving pawns on, and Charles Manson was like a bishop or something.
Yeah. Weird analogy. Charles Manson was the bishop.
Well, I mean, it's a good
He was
piece,
the
but
bishop.
It's a good piece, but it's not like the queen
Exactly.
or the king or like the
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
He's like a bishop or a rook.
Whoa.
It's just funny to think about.
JFK's a rook, all right? JFK's a rook. Charlie Manson's a bishop.
I don't know how you draw that line,
He
but
just-
all right.
I value the rook more than the bishop, personally.
No.
He's a jester,
He's a bum, a tramp, a hobo.
but that's not a piece.
So are we good to wrap it here?
Yeah.
I'm going to play off Chimera Camera. This is In My Dreams by Loveport. Give him a look.
Give him a listen.
Come on.
All right. You know what's also sick? No ads. No ads on that video. on
Yeah,
YouTube.
no ads for this one.
I was on YouTube.
Yeah.
Pass me by. Sweat through the night. Told me everything'll be alright. People took my hand out of bed. Woke up when you said, come to me in the middle of the night, in the middle of a tree. Mystery and puzzle and riddle bereft of rhyme. I speak to you, you speak to me. See you in